What is up, everybody? This is so weird. Um, as you can tell, I am not normally where I normally am. Um, with that being stated, sorry in advance in any of the random sounds that you hear. Um, I cannot control the outside world. This is also going to be extremely awkward for me due to the fact that where I'm at, directly in front of me, I have a construction site that's completely working right now. So, but hopefully this will go off just like any other Facebook Live that I do. Now, with that being stated, I am Fire Lotus. I do these live witches chats Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Normally, I am in a different environment, but doing the fact that today is the day before Thanksgiving, I decided to actually get out of the house a little bit. Speaking of that, I will not be doing a live tomorrow, just to kind of respect the people that do celebrate Thanksgiving. With that being stated, it is Wednesday, the 27th, 2019. I will be going over the Oracle card that I've been breaking down, which is the Halloween Oracle deck. I'll be going over this one today. I will also be talking about, if I can get it pulled up, the Pinterest spread, part of the 30-day card challenge, 30-day tarot challenge that I created last night. Y'all are the people that are participating would have done the Whispers of the Ancestors and, or as a bonus, the New Moon in Sagittarius spread. And then the other two that y'all will do tonight are the other one that y'all will do tonight is up, and then the following one is also up for that one, but the one that y'all will be doing tonight is Interview Your Deck. So with this one, the New Moon in Sagittarius was a very interesting read that I did. The interview deck, I did it later than I normally did, so I actually did not get to fully do what I normally do. So I'm actually going to be redoing that one sometime after this live. And then the next one, which I will be doing tonight, y'all will be doing tomorrow or Friday, depending on if you do this every day. It will be connecting with your spirit guide spread. So, and again, anybody who missed it, the 30-day tarot challenge is a challenge that I came up with to basically not only help learn different aspects of yourself and about yourself, but to also explore and get used to working with the tarot deck and or the tarot. And for some reason, I just had the idea of turning it into a challenge. I do know of at least 3 people that are participating in it, which is really cool. Counting me, that's 4 at least. But I also have the board on my Pinterest is actually the Tarot Oracle 30-day challenge. I post them on there, which I also post them on this page, and I post them on my Instagram, and then I also post them on Twitter. But basically, you will do the spread every single day, and the spreads that I pick and post to the board, it's going to be all about past life, basically not only working with your ancestors and your spirit guides, but also working with you, different aspects of you, and also learning different aspects. Since I've been doing these spreads, I have literally started connecting things that I've always been attracted to and attached to throughout this life, but never understood where it came from, where that likeness or fondness for these items came from. During or using these spreads that I've been picking, have actually, the first one that I picked, literally 4 symbols and or objects that I've always been drawn to and I never figured out where or why came to me, and it's linked to a past life. but those symbols in this day or in this lifetime have also been associated with the craft as well. Speaking of the craft, or speaking of witchcraft, news on the remake of The Craft, the movie, they officially wrapped. Yesterday they wrapped, so as far as I know, the original shooting process of the film, The Craft, the remake, is complete. Now it's the whole, I'm pretty sure, editing, special effects, processing, all of that stuff. So I'm pretty sure it should be in theaters probably around next year, sometime next year. Sorry if I feel like if I act off. Like I said, I'm completely out of my comfort zone right now. But me coming into town should not be an excuse for me not to do this. So, yeah. I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm basically stepping out of my comfort zone to do this, but I'm hoping it'll pay off in the end. It's very weird, and I did want to throw this out there. Did anybody else have any weird, vivid dreams last night? It was just me. Because the dream that I had last night, like, it's still fucking with me. Mainly the symbolism behind it. And why I had it is actually what's fucking with me. But there was something major. See, this is why I'm such a routine person, but staying on a routine helps me, like, keep everything together. And I've not been able to do that. And right now, I'm currently trying to get organized. And then I had to find a way to prop the phone up while being able to use the headphone jack. I hope y'all can see and or hear me okay. If not, let me know. I can connect to a Wi-Fi. I'm trying to see if I took any notes yesterday, or if I specifically said I was going to go over anything in particular. I did want to say, so far it's looking like we will be breaking down the tarot cards very soon. Actually, I don't know, every single time I check the poll, and I think on the original poll that I have set now on my wall for if we're going to pick the Native American Medicine Wheel Meditation Oracle deck, or if we're going to go over the tarot deck. I can't get the book out right now, but I can show you the tarot cards that I'm talking about, which are these Green Witch tarot cards. They're really pretty, but it looks like we may actually be doing this. And I stated yesterday that if we do decide to do this, take in mind of how many cards there are. And I will be breaking down not only this entire deck and the book that it comes with, but I will also be, let me grab them really quick for the people who did not get to see this yesterday. And I'm not going to go into the backstory of explaining it because it was kind of long, but we will be, okay, I don't have the ones that I'm supposed to have right now, because apparently I left them at home. Nope, they're right here. Okay. I have these, which all break down the tarot cards, but I also have these, which we will be using, and it breaks down the major and the minor arcana, and we will be using these. So literally, we will be breaking down the entire tarot deck in every aspect and way that I possibly can break it down. And it is a dedication, because we will be going over every single one of these. So if y'all do want to do that, then we'll do that. If not, we will do the Oracle deck, and then once I get to hopefully by the time we've actually finished all of the decks that I have, which are 2 Oracle and the Tarot, I will have a new deck, and then we'll also be able to break down that one. Also, I realized that starting the tarot, 30-day tarot one, I've had this deck, the tarot deck, I believe, I want to say about 3 years now. And this is the first time in those 3 years that, like, I can pick it up and the cards are automatically intuned. Sometimes I will get, like, instead of the question that I asked my cards or my deck, it'll answer the one that I wasn't asking for. So, which most Oracle decks and tarot cards are like that. The majority of them, they do over time develop their own personalities. I know some people who have multiple decks, like 10, 15 to 20 decks, and they all have their split personalities. Ooh, I didn't even know you had a deck. We're learning new. I'm learning new things about people I did not know. Um, with that, I am doing for the people who have seen it and are curious about it, I didn't really explain it. But the Life Path Tarot reading for 25 that I'm offering. That is not a specific card for $25. If the deck uses the entire deck, then it uses the entire deck. If you don't want to do that, I also have on my Amazon account, I have a book list, and it's actually titled this, and it has a description of it, but they are books that I would like to get my hands on to gain more knowledge of the craft and of spirituality. And it's basically, it's the Witch's Payment that I was talking about. And I checked it last night. Everything on there except for 5 items basically is under $20, not counting shipping, but it is under $20. Now, there are 5 items that they're up there, but originally that list was made before I even thought of the concept or found out about the concept of the Witch's Payment. See, I didn't know that. I did not know you could do palm readings. I knew about the runes and the pendulums, but I did not know you were gifted in palm readings. That is something I also want to get into. I have one palm book at home, or palmistry book at home, but it's specifically talking about like love palmistry and like love language and the romantic side to it. But yeah, there's that. There's the Witch's Payment. So there's that. New Year's, I will be, to anybody who sees this locally that knows me, I am planning something for New Year's for an actual, like, kind of meet and greet, I guess. Something like that. And then January is when I plan on taking on 2 students, which I actually still talking to one, but I possibly already have one of those 2. And then January is when I'm also going to start bringing people in on the lives to do the interviews with. I wanted to do that, and the reason I'm primarily waiting until January is that way it'll be like a complete fresh start, new start of basically the page, and bringing into the stuff that I actually want to start bringing in. Like I said, I've talked to 2 people that have businesses that I'm going to be talking to. I have another person who runs a business that I'm going to be talking to. I have 2 practitioners that I want to bring in on interviews to talk about their craft, and one of them is in the UK, so I'm definitely going to bring up how is it different practicing and celebrating craft and be more spiritually in the UK, and compare that to how different it is here in the United States. I have another person, eventually my father-in-law, that I will be bringing on to interview. He's a diehard Christian, but he is one of the most open-minded people I've ever met. Not to mention, he's also the person who has a knack, and I do mean a knack. He carries 2 magnets on his knife, but he has a knack for finding meteorites. So I'm going to be bringing him on and doing an interview. So much other stuff. At one point in time, there's 2 graveyards that I want to just not really like go ghost hunting in. It would be daylight, but to do a live in the graveyard, mainly because I also love the aesthetic aspect of a graveyard, especially the ones out in the middle of nowhere that's got moss hanging down from the trees. I love it, especially during this time of the year. What else was there? Oh, successfully, just a little update. I successfully remade 3 candles yesterday. No, 4 candles yesterday, and then I made one the day before yesterday, so 5. So I've successfully made 5 candles, and the reason that's cool for me is because these 5 candles are the first 5 that I've actually been able to get a scent on while burning. So that is exciting because next year I have plans to, there are candles, there are going to be necklaces, so much other stuff that have all been in the works, and I've been slowly manifesting and planning. And it looks like so far everything is starting to slowly fall into place. And the reason, because I was very nervous about throwing the 30-day tarot challenge out, which my 30-day spiritual talking challenge was a success. I would say it was a success, but this 30-day tarot card, I was very nervous about it. I'm already nervous about some of the videos that I do and some of the content that I talk about, which that's going away. But the reason I keep talking about this is because the Whispers of the Ancestors, take in mind, since I started the 30-day challenge, I'm technically a day ahead of y'all. So the ones that y'all would be doing tonight, technically I would be reviewing, or vice versa. But I did the Whispers of the Ancestors, and holy shit. Even the thoughts and slight thoughts or feelings that I had about certain aspects of my life, primarily this and where I'm going with teaching and spiritual path and talking to people and getting knowledge out there, I was kind of questioning myself, like questioning if I was ready for this. Those 6 cards completely changed that completely. All the confidence that I was lacking completely restored, because like I've stated before, I've came up with my own specific way to shuffle my tarot deck. Because sometimes I do get it in my head, okay, well, there's a certain number amount of cards. So, of course, eventually you're going to get some of the cards that you'd possibly want or something like that. So the way that I found a way to trick my own mind in it so it doesn't really question that and it just lets it flow. And literally those 6 cards were, holy shit. It was literally like my entire ancestral line that knows about me, like, has completely stepped forward and like, we got you. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Keep doing it. And then I've had 2 other 1-card readings by 2 different people, different parts of the world, on different aspects of my life, and they keep saying the same thing. So something to do with education or counseling, something as in education or counseling or something is coming my way. What that is, I have no idea. But new things are coming. Not to mention success and hey for me, I got out of the house today, and so far I haven't had an anxiety attack. Whoop whoop, small baby steps. I am still completely petrified, I will say that. Hold on, I'm reading something really quick. Oh, okay. Hello. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. I'm reading a message really quick that was sent to me. Okay, I'll message you in a minute. But anyways, okay. So, yes, this live, by the way, will be up on my YouTube way sooner because I actually have access to really fast internet today. Whoop whoop. The live that I did yesterday is also up on my YouTube. If you missed anything or if you just want to check it out, it's there. And then, of course, the 30-day challenge is also there. Hold on. Gotta open this door. Let some air in. But, yeah. Some new things are coming. Now, I will admit, I did want to go ahead and throw this out here. There will be probably the last week of December, particularly the last 2 days of December. Even if they were to fall on Monday or through Friday, I may not be able to do a live. December the 25th is was one of my closest friends' birthday, who passed away earlier this year. So it's going to be really, really hard. So it just depends on what's going on in my life if I am going to do that. I did want to throw that out there. Now, prior to that, there will be certain holidays that I will be doing a live for. Now, that doesn't mean there's going to be a celebration or a ritual, because I haven't got to that point yet, but I do plan on getting there. Yes, you heard that right. I did plan on getting to a point to where I can at least do 1 or 2 rituals, but that will not be until probably later on next year, or possibly the year after that. It depends on how all this goes. But like I said, I did lots of stuff. This may not go as long as it normally does, just because I am out of my comfort zone. Due to the fact that I'm out of my comfort zone, I haven't been able to like prep or normally like figure out what I wanted to talk about. Actually, no, there is something I did want to talk about, actually. Here recently, in the YouTuber community, and this is just something to kind of throw out there for people the people that are in the craft community, or trying to find people, mentors in a way, to follow on YouTube, on other social medias. Be careful. Be careful with who you let in. First of all, be very, very careful of who you let read your cards, and especially your birth chart. Do not just hand over your birth chart to anyone who says they can read them, okay? I don't care if they have a backing. I don't care if they've been verified. I don't care if they've written a book. I don't care. Watch who you give your information like that to. With that, this kind of makes me a hypocrite, but I'm not really going to give enough information for anybody to figure out what the actual hell I'm talking about, so I'm being vague, but at the same time, the message will get across. There are snakes in the public eye. Now, what I mean by that is there are certain people in the pagan community and or New Age or spiritual community, tarot cards, astrology, whatnot, all that stuff. And I follow 4. There are 4 particular ones that I'm talking about. And by following all 4 of them, I've seen things and I've put pieces together. So even one of these people that I'm talking about, I myself have pushed at one point in time, because at the end of the day, they're really good at what they do. But at the same time, I've come to realize within a year, it's been a year now, a year and a month or 2, of following this particular person on all of their accounts, that I don't want to say necessarily two-faced, but think of it as a coin. Like, what you're seeing over here is not what's actually going on in the background. And I don't know if I'm fully right, but everything that I have pulled together when it comes to spiritual people online, just be careful. Be very cautious. Act like if you were going to explore somebody new who does like the monthly readings or predictions or anything like that. Don't necessarily get caught up by the illusion that they are portraying. Because some people do it to really do it, and just to be able to help with their gifts, to help people. And then, just like all good things in history, a lot of bad, fucked up things originally started with the original intention of it being a good idea. And then you have basic human needs or basic human things that kind of come into it in a while. Greed, stuff like that, money, stuff like that. And then some people kind of lose what the original reason why they were doing it. Now, there's 2 reasons that I'm throwing this out there. For one, I just want everybody to know. For 2, this is also a way for even me, depending on how all this goes, in like 5 years from now, it's like I can go back and watch this video and it's like I'm talking to myself. Like, never forget where you've come from. Ever. Never forget the people that helped you out while getting there. But the specific thing that I'm talking about, it's kind of pissed me off. But for one, this person doesn't even live in the state. I don't think she does. Or they do. Actually, anybody that I'm talking about, as far as I know, doesn't live in the state. And it's like nobody... Again, but what I mean by that is... The only way that I could put it is basically there are snakes in the public eye. Basically, there are people that... And it's so weird because this particular event, you can actually go back and compare two profiles together and, like, put two and two together. But, yeah, when it comes to getting your cards read, stuff like that, try to do research on the person. Like, try to, for one, trust your instinct, but at the same time, don't let the mirage or the aesthetic that the person has put on their social media sites or profiles or stuff like that, don't let that over, like, kind of shade your actual true, well, intuitional self. Like, your true intuition will pick that up. But a lot of the times, sometimes we let what we actually see, like all the shiny pieces, you know what I mean. Don't get blinded by what you see on the outside. Just trust that. I had to get that out there. I know it's very random, but without further ado, I will go ahead and go over. This is actually one of my favorite cards in the Oracle deck. For anybody who's been following along or anybody who hasn't, we've been breaking down the Halloween Oracle deck. I've been breaking it down since the mid of October, I believe, alphabetically. And yesterday we went over Blind Spot. Today is the Skull of Flowers. And it says Creating Through the Ashes. This is literally what I call the Phoenix card. And let me pull up. There we go. To bloom and blossom, to blossom and bloom, to work there must be done. The work must be done. Through fire and ashes, our fortune it comes. Before flowers are born, there are sweet buds on a plant that came from a smaller form like a seed or a bulb. The seed needs prepared, nourished soil to grow in the potential. Some plants and trees only seed after a fire or a period of extreme advisory like drought or flood. I talked about that with the California poppy flowers that only grow after a wildfire. Sometimes we wish for a life different from the ones that we have, and that can mean radical changes. Sometimes to have the new life, everything falls apart to make it so, and that can be unfortunate. We may lose our friendships, or we may change. We might lose a job, have to move house, or become ill. All big events that lead to a reassessment of how of our lives. The Skull of Flowers illustrates that there is a sureness and yet a rawness to creating again. To start afresh, sometimes the universe gives us a blank slate to work from, so we can build what we really want rather than just settling for less. The Skull of Flowers celebrates not just a kind of phoenix energy, but an energy of success and full blossoms through adversity. Basically, it means that when you hit rock bottom in life, or when you hit a situation in your life that it feels like you've hit rock bottom, always know that you can't go anywhere else but up. With that, also, if, like, say the retrogrades, like I've talked about before, retrogrades, they're not actually bad. They're actually wildfires of our life. Sometimes it's the universe's way of wiping everything we don't need for a clear new beginning, so we can start again. And life, honestly, I believe one of the meanings of that is it's not necessarily finding out the reasons these patterns and these things keep happening, but it's to evolve to realize and see the signs, so the universe doesn't have to step in. That is honestly what I truly believe enlightenment and everything like that is for. But without other ado, I'm going to cut this short. So thank you for everybody who watched. Thank you for everybody who commented. And this will be on YouTube at a certain point in time. And I may do another random live sometime today. But until then, thank you for everybody who joined, and peace.